Welcome to Pride Against Prejudice, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
Hi, I'm Simon and I'm playing Huggy Bear.
Hi, I'm Al and I'll be playing Maverick.
Hi, I'm Jack and I play Toyga.
Hi, I'm Michael and I'll be playing Sunshine.
And my name is Rhydian, I am the GM. If you would like any bonus content, a link to our living campaign map can be found in the show notes, along with a link to our Discord where you can get occasional bonus episodes, and if you'd like to add locations to the map or just ask us questions, you're welcome to join us there. If you stick about for a few seconds at the end of the episode, we also have a question for you as well. The following content may contain themes and materials not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Before we dive into the episode, here's some pay data on another one of the Shadowrun podcasts out there for you to listen to.
2081 has been a hell of a year for St. Louis, Missouri. An astral anomaly left a 2-mile radius around downtown a toxic hellscape, and the residents have been left to pick up the pieces, but the hits just keep on coming. At the center of it all are the Glitches, a Shadowrunning team made up of Bianca the Face, aka Eris, Val the Technomancer, aka Binary, Joe the Muscle, aka Collateral, and Jet the Sneak Thief, aka, well, Jet. Some of us are better than others at sticking to a code name. The girls attempt to navigate the criminal elements of the St. Louis streets, all while looking out for themselves, each other, and the people they love.
If you want more of the Glitches, feel free to drop into the Gamers Table Discord or check us out on the socials at Resting Glitchface. You can find us on all major podcatchers or check out our Patreon. Thanks for listening.
After pulling off the job far more smoothly than they expected, the team needs to make the drop-off and get paid. Now, if their families would just stop starting drek, that would be wonderful.
So we've got the blood sample, and Toyger's had a call to go to a meet.
A meet.
I believe the restaurant is on the way to the meet. I'm just going to double check.
So you're having a look on Grid Guide.
Mm.
Roll your browse program for me there, Toyga. Let's see how good you are at Grid Guide.
Oh dear.
Or does he have map? Do you have Mapsoft? That's the other thing.
Nope. I have a rating 4 browse program though.
Yeah, everyone has a rating 4 browse program.
Oh, good golly gosh, it's going to be entertaining. I got a hit.
This isn't hard to find. You do just about manage to find it. I'm trying to remember where it is.
So from where we were, I seem to remember there was like a direct subway line to...
The NYCU campus is in the village in relatively close to the south of Manhattan, right in the middle.
What was the name of the school we were at? I forget.
Shiawase Public Academy. It's on the map, as I can't remember exactly what we called it. It's been a little while, so...
There's Seven Hills.
It's in Queens, in a district called Briarwood.
Found it. What's this blue line here? Anyway, that goes directly to Manhattan, near Columbia U, it looks like, so I can get that, drop off the blood, and then go and get assassinated, or ambushed by murderers, or kidnapped, or...
So long as you pay us our share of the take before you get assassinated, you're on your own free time.
No dying on the job.
Yeah, well, you'll get your share of the take if I get kidnapped, but will you get your birthday presents? I think not.
If we could come to this meet and make sure you don't get assassinated, I would. However, we're not allowed.
Also, I don't have a pass to get onto Manhattan Island, so...
You really should get one of those, they're quite useful.
They're also very expensive and you need a decent SIN.
Have you considered just stopping being poor, Huggy?
Have you considered not needing drones as backup?
Mav, you sound like my dad when you say that.
I was doing that deliberately.
Yeah, Mav, that was not a great look.
I'm not that idiot. I'm sorry. That was supposed to sound like a joke.
All right. Look. If I see you running for the UCAS Republicans, we're going to have problems.
Hell, I would have a problem with myself.
I see you running for UCAS Republicans. You're getting concrete boots.
If I see you running for the UCAS Republicans, I'm making you a Grindr account.
Long story short, don't run for UCAS Republicans.
I don't plan to.
Good.
Sunshine, you can help me fake nudes.
I mean, are you asking me to pose as Maverick? That's not going to work, and also I don't do that anymore.
I mean...
God, now I'm offended.
But it would be so funny.
For whom?
Me.
I mean, that's the only real answer to that question, isn't it?
That's Huggy, you want to be Mav's body model.
I don't think I could pull it off, but if you're game, I am.
I just look at Toyger and then, like, pointedly look across to Maverick and then look back to Toyger and then look down at myself and back to Maverick.
And then back to Huggy?
Yep.
I don't
Why
know.
do you think anyone on this team would be able to body double for anyone else in this team?
I mean,
Toyger.
We are somewhat a diverse group.
you two are, like, at least the right meta type. Mouth, like, points between Sunshine and Toyger.
And I'm not that much taller than you, Sunshine.
Yeah, you're relatively similar builds, and also
Yes.
the wrong gender presentation, the wrong race. No.
Yeah, and also, like, I keep my dick in a box at home.
See, this is the point where it would be fun to say, I also have a dick in a box at home, but I don't. I lost it when I moved.
I've just realised I've had a massive dyslexic moment. It's not Labardin, it's Labernadin. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that. I don't care.
And where is the Le Bernardin restaurant?
It's in Manhattan in the Midtown district. You're sat in a van outside a stuffer shack.
Somewhere in Queens?
Somewhere in Queens.
Trying to figure out who could pose for whose nudes on this team.
Yeah. But it's up to you guys. The fuck are you doing?
Shall we dispatch Toyger to do our hand-in, and then go get assassinated?
I mean, if Toyger's games, then we might as well. Time is a-wasting.
Oh, I haven't been inside a university in ages. Come on, let's get going. Give me the jar of delicious Republican juice.
By the way, Sunshine,
Yo,
you get a text message.
I check my comlink.
It's from Luna. It seems to be saying, hey, so I know things are a little rough right now, but do me a favour, don't go across the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm serious. It's work-related.
Okay, thanks. That's all she's getting in response.
Fair.
Guys, Toyger,
Yes.
what's your route to meet?
The E-line?
That won't go across the Brooklyn Bridge because it's a road bridge.
Okay. She's just contacted me, says we're to stay away from the Brooklyn Bridge for a while because of her work. So,
That's
Why is she blowing it up or
ominous.
something?
Nobody would blow up at the fragging Brooklyn Bridge. Don't be stupid.
I mean, have you seen Luna's temper?
You want to go there, because
You do know my girlfriend has, like,
I should high-powered Shadowrunner, yeah, but
I mean,
who'd blow up a fragging city bridge?
She's also extremely angry.
right, guys, we are going to find a nice small restaurant within sight of the Brooklyn Bridge, and we're going to watch the fireworks.
I don't think there's going to be any fireworks, but if you're paying, I'm game.
There's a lot of assumption going on here. I mean, Luna, for all of her many, many faults, usually tries to be fairly subtle. Or at least her team does. Well, except when they're really, really not.
I still don't think someone's going to blow up a bridge.
Okay, so this is the way that I'm going to put it. I don't think that anybody's going to blow up a bridge either. But if somebody is going to blow up a bridge, I want to be there to watch it.
Accepted.
Okay.
And does anybody else have any better plans for the evening?
Well, no, because we're waiting on
Toiger sending us our pay, and then
Toiger going out and selling his ass or whatever he's doing.
Then let's go find ourselves a nice little cafe near the Brooklyn Bridge.
Alright, so you guys find yourselves a cafe. We'll come back to exactly where you are in a bit. Toiger, you are getting the subway over. It's pretty uneventful. It's a New York subway. One guy at one point does try to hold you up at knife point, but it's quietly understood that you slip him 20 new yen, you get your photo taken with him, and then he buggers off. It's part of the tourist experience, or you could just, use magic and make him piss himself. One of the two. When you get over to Manhattan, are you going to the restaurant first, or are you going, because the restaurant is kind of on the way to Columbia U, or are you going to Columbia first?
So I had 3 hours from when I received the call. How much time has passed?
Probably about an hour at this point, because you were killing time for a bit while you were waiting for the drone to get back. You didn't sort of leave whilst the others were still on mission.
I'm just trying to find where Columbia U is.
Northern part of Manhattan.
Given that one of these things is time limited and the other is not, I would suggest going to the time limited thing first, particularly if it's en route.
One of these things is a trap, and if he gets trapped, none of us get paid for this job.
Well, or fool us for giving him the only sample.
Yeah, he's away on the subway now.
We definitely had this discussion in the van.
Yeah, can you please go drop off the sample and then go to the restaurant? But
Uni first. Quite frankly, if they're willing to pay me for 2,000 union to show up on time, I don't think they're going to leave if I'm 20 minutes late.
Depends who it is, but okay. Well, hey, it's you that's losing $3,000, not me.
Anyway.
Yeah, so you get the subway over. What rating is your SYN, please?
My good one is rating 4.
As you're getting off the subway, you have to go through the SYN scanners to get out of the subway and into the university, because it's Manhattan. God almighty, the corps have this place tight as a drum. Your SYN, when you're scanning it to get out, it comes up orange on the guy's SYN scanner. And it's not red, so you're not absolutely fucked, but he kind of asks you to come to the side and just goes, right, we're gonna have to run this again, I'm sorry. Can you hold your SYN out for me, please?
Do I try and manipulate him now, or do I wait until he's scanned it again?
You are in a very public place, and there are other cops about. Just making sure you know what's going on.
Okay, I hand it out again.
He sort of runs it through again and goes, okay, that's gone through this time. Standard procedure, if it comes back with a not sure, I'm going to need to check your licenses as well. What rating are your licenses?
I have a rating 4 shaman license.
And do you have any guns on you or anything?
No.
Cool. So yeah, he gives you a quick pat down. You've not got any illegal drek on you, and he sends you on your way. Actually, do you have palming?
No.
So, are you trying to hide the blood sample from the cop that's giving you a pat down?
I've probably got it in my pockets with other weird shamanic stuff. I maybe do something like, don't worry, it's mine,
Do you have con?
No.
So you'll be defaulting to charisma then?
Free edge this.
Oh, yeah.
You sounded so Wisconsin then.
Did he?
Yes. No, Toiga. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, just writing something down. Hang on, this is my first time meeting this guy, isn't it?
Yep, so you get first impression, so you get +2 dice.
Excellent. Would I be able to use privileged family name if I bring up that just because de Peralto doesn't appear on the SYN doesn't mean it's not in there?
Not in this case, because you're posing as somebody else.
Okie dokie. Roly-poly. 4 hits.
Yeah, he kind of looks you up and down and just goes, oh, for God's sake, fragging shamans, you're all so goddamn weird. Alright, go on. Piss off. Ain't got time for this.
Bye. It's not even for magic stuff. I've got an appointment along at the Clap Clinic and they wanted a blood sample.
You're not pissing off fast enough for his liking.
Right, I'm pissing off up to the university.
Yeah. Columbia University, it's both changed and really hasn't from our world. So after the quake, it was pretty heavily damaged, but it's Columbia University. They have the money to rebuild. There's more drones about. The fashions have changed, but it's an Ivy League college. It looks much the same. You ask around for directions, and you eventually find the right building. What are you doing from here?
There's a reception desk, yes?
Yep.
I just sort of wander up to it, and is the person there? Are they on their computer? Are they doing anything? Are they?
They seem to be tapping away at various AR screens. You can't see them, but it's that classic glassy-eyed look, and they're waving their hands around in the air. In our world, they look like a crazy person. In the sixth world, it's just Tuesday.
Sorry to distract. I'm to meet with a Dr. Vinagra, I believe it was. I was told you would be able to relay a message up to him if you express that it's an urgent delivery.
We don't have a Dr. Vinagra, was it, you said?
Yes, I was under the impression I was to meet with Mr. Dr. Vinagra.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying it as one word. No, Varun. Yeah, Varun's cool. Give me a couple of moments, and he taps something into his cyber terminal and goes glassy-eyed for a few seconds, and then says, yeah, he'll be down in a few minutes, and just take a seat, mate. And he points you over to it's a reception area. There's chairs. Some things change, some things stay the same.
I find a chair, I sit in it cross-legged, and I pull out my comlink and start reading whatever book it is I've got on there at the minute.
Yeah, cool. So the guy goes back to just watching his Tridio talk show without any further comment. And eventually, a slightly older Indian gentleman comes down the stairs, looks around, and the receptionist just kind of points at you, and he walks up and says, I'm told you've got a delivery?
Yes, I was asked to make a delivery of a sample to yourself.
Excellent. I'll take charge of that. Have you got the package?
Plugger sort of reaches in about his person and pulls the sample out. He's probably wrapped it in a napkin or something and just hands it over.
Yeah, he does the classic thing where you take one thing from somebody's hand and slide something else over. He actually does it reasonably deftly, and you have a shiny cred stick with quite a lot of cash on it in hand now. I can't remember the exact amount, but it'll be in excess of 40 grand that he's just handed you.
Thank you kindly, Doctor.
And I look forward to running the sample. This should prove a most fascinating area of research.
I look forward to reading your paper when it is published. I'm sure it will be most illuminating.
I'm sure it will. The results are due in just a few days' time. I honestly wasn't expecting the sample this soon. I'm very glad that you did bring it so quickly. It gives me a chance to really get to grips with the research material.
Yes, my colleague who is responsible for acquiring the sample is indeed profoundly and deeply skilled individual. I'm afraid I do have to dash off. I have other engagements this afternoon. Do take good care of yourself, Doctor.
You as well. And, yep, there's some pleasantries, and he says goodbye.
Guys, I think this is the most money I've ever had in one place at one time in my hand since leaving home, and I'm a little put off. I don't have like a hidden wallet to put it in. I don't have like a chaperone to hand it to.
Put it in your prison pocket.
Why is that your answer, Sunshine?
Good place for hiding stuff.
Sunshine, the men you hang about with have substantially more capacious prison pockets than I do.
The men Sunshine hangs around with, as far as we know, are us, Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
So speak for yourself.
So yeah, now that you have finished up that run,
Quick question: if I'm just doing like a quick on-the-fly summon binding, that doesn't take many hours, does it?
binding takes a while.
But a summoning takes a complex action.
Yeah, summoning is quicker as anything. Binding takes a lot longer because there's a lot more sort of, contest of wills with the spirits as you try to force it to submit to your will.
So if I was just going to summon a spirit and just have it on standby, I could do that.
Oh yeah. You might get a little bit of astral attention because there'd be a spirit summoning, like a high-powered spirit following you around on the astral plane, which other magicians would be able to see. So security mages might be a little bit, you're going to fucking put that away, pal. Whereas mundanes would just have no idea.
I will maybe leave it for just now. I've got 2 bound spirits on hand, or it really gets to it, I can just snap my fingers and bring something together. By the way, did I finish my stuff to get my magic up to 6 yet? I can't remember.
Not yet, no.
Okie dokie.
We will be coming to that soon. Alright, so are you heading over to Labanadin?
Yep. I'm probably going to send the money elsewhere first, so everyone gets their share now.
You wouldn't really be able to do it because it's on a certified cred stick. Basically, to get it into a bank account, you have to launder the money. So it's why runners use certified cred so much, as it's untraceable. So you're stuck with the cred stick for the time being. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, right, fair enough. I put it in, there's pockets, there's inner pockets, there's inner pockets. It goes in an inner pocket of the lined jacket.
Weird way to say your prison pocket, but okay.
Anyway, so are you heading over to Midtown?
Yep.
Brilliant. So when you get there, it's a while since you've been here, but because Toyga used to hang out here quite a bit, but it's like nothing has changed at all. The people have different fashions and faces, but it's all the same underneath. The Skyrakers tower over the streets with drones and air taxis zipping between them as the rich and powerful avoid mixing with the masses toiling for them below, except for a few perfectly dressed individuals catwalking down the street to remind the wage slaves of what they will never have. As you arrive at Labanadin, the maitre d', who's been facially sculpted to perfectly resemble a young Sean Connery, leads you through the elegant dining area to a private room with real oak panels on the doors. As you go in, sat at the table is a young half-Asian woman that you did not think you were ever going to see again. She looks up at you and says, "It's been a while, Cecil."
Chana, you septic bitch. What do you want?
So she is actually really young. She looks like she's probably about 16. There is a fairly serious bodyguard in the room, but he stood sort of right at the back with his hands folded in front of him. He's not twitched at all. She's got, the sort of I'm hiding from the paparazzi sunglasses.
Yes.
There's a pair of those on the table next to her.
Toyga sort of looks over at the bodyguard and said, "This one's new. What happened to Clyde?"
Shall we say that he and Mother didn't see eye to eye?
Missionary position is usually great for seeing eye to eye, and that's about all she's capable of. At this point, Toyga sort of just sits down and says, So, are you just going to rattle pocket change at me and see me come running as a sort of power kink humiliation thing, or is there a point to all of this? And can I have my money and can I go, please?
Give me a judge intentions.
Oh, one hit.
You're not sure, but she actually seems amused, but also like she's trying to hide something. And she sort of looks at you and says, I've actually missed this in a strange way.
Yes, well, you were the closest thing I had to a friend for a great many years, you awful cow.
Yeah, Cecil, we both know that it was my sister that you really got on with until our dads poisoned you both, and me.
Yes, well, setting me against Alexandra didn't really buy him anything, whereas setting us two against each other drove us to compete.
It has, however, taught me some excellent and useful skills. Thank you for that.
Likewise, my dear, likewise. Speaking of Lexi, how is she? Who's she shacked up with at the minute? Which pot plants is she vomiting into?
That's actually why I got in touch with you. Cecil, after you left, Daddy wasn't exactly happy about what had happened. Well, he was. But he was going to make damn sure that it didn't happen with Alexandra and I.
Toyga just sort of sits down and says, "So, are you going to rattle pocket change at me and see me come running? Some sort of bizarre power kink humiliation thing? Or is there a point to all of this? And if there isn't, can I have my money and go, please?"
For once in your life, Cecil, take this seriously. I didn't go through the ugliness of talking to that ganger friend of yours for my entertainment. He makes my skin crawl. Ugh.
Speedball makes your skin crawl. You need to rethink this decision to break away from Ivan. He's harmless.
Cecil, I'm not going anywhere. It's Alexandra that I'm worried about. I haven't seen her in weeks. Daddy says she's gone to reform school. I managed to get a little bit of information about it. She got caught going out again. You know what she's like for going out. And you know what the screen sheets are like following her. I think she's in real trouble, and I can manage around Father. She can't. She's never been able to get on with him at all. She's never been able to present the facade she needs to present, you know?
When you say reform school, you don't mean that school?
Pretty sure it is. I think he sent her to Cornville. You need to get her out.
I want to preempt this with, if this is a joke, or a trick, or some mechanism of my father's or yours to bring me back into line, everyone in this city will hear the three of you screaming.
Cecil.
If it's not...
Cecil, your father's been telling everyone you're dead. Or that you've gone away somewhere. He doesn't care. Well, he probably does, but not enough to... That's a rabbit hole I'm not touching. Let me ask you this, Cecil. What do you think Daddy would do if he found out I was talking to you?
He'd send you to Cornville.
Cecil, do you think I want to go there? Do you think I'm prepared to take that risk for a joke? Cecil, in all the time that we've known each other, in all the time that our fathers made us compete with each other, have you ever known me to joke about things like this? What's the thing that you kept calling me? What's the first thing you called me when we came in? No, it wasn't septic bitch. Conniving bitch, was it? Something like that?
A duplicitous crone with more faces than the town hall clock, as I remember.
You always did have a way with words. Do you really think that I would risk going there for you?
So at this point, Toyga's sort of like not even... He's sort of looking into midair past her and like fingers drumming on the table.
She gets up, puts the sunglasses and the I'm hiding from the paparazzi big floppy hat on, tosses a cred stick on the table and says, "There's your money, Cecil," or should I say, Toyga? It's a pretentious name. "Since you've turned into a mercenary, there's your pound of flesh." And she tosses a data chip on the table. "Once you manage to get hold of Alex, there's a burner comlink number on there. Don't call me unless you have something." And she walks out.
So Toyga gets out the comlink and he doesn't like group text, he group calls everyone.
Hello.
Huggy?
Toyga, you're not dead. That's good to hear.
I have a problem, guys.
You have a lot of problems. Wait a minute, you sound serious. Is this serious, or is this like the problem with the...
Huggy, let Tiger speak. What's the problem, Tiger?
I got the money for the blood, for the blood thing. And I met my cousin, my little cousin.
I remember that you don't get on very well with your family. Are we going to need to break you out of Manhattan?
No, we're going to have to break someone else out of Manhattan. Not Manhattan, it's not in Manhattan. What are our opinions on breaking and entering, and on my share of this job and this 2,000 union I've been handed going to cover a run?
This sounds like something we should discuss in person.
Yeah, let's not
Okay, Tiger, first of all...
do this over comms.
Tiger, first of all, you're my friend. Second of all, I am happy to run for my friends.
Thanks, Huggy. I'm going to go home. I need a minute. If you want to meet there, meet me there. If you want to meet somewhere else, let me know. I need a minute.
Do you want us to meet you there?
So at this stage, the call just absolutely cuts to static. Where are the rest of you?
Good fragging question. We are in a cafe overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge. Hopefully by this point.
I was looking at this. We've got ourselves a cafe in either South Williamsburg or the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Alright.
One of the cafes on the actual piers of the Navy Yard, I think.
So the Brooklyn Bridge has two caissons, the towers that hold bridges up. There's one on the Brooklyn side which actually touches the land. The one on the Manhattan side is in the water. You just see this huge plume of water explode from the river, completely hiding the caisson. And as the water starts to clear, you can see the caisson begin to slowly topple sideways. And you can hear that weird noise of like cables stretching and snapping. And you can see the roadway just split off the caisson, both on the side that's nearer to Manhattan and going over to Brooklyn. And you just see this whole thing slowly tilt sideways and crash into the water, and just the shockwave from the explosion hits you at that point. And that was a hell of a bag. That somebody just put a serious bomb up against that. What the frag? And there's that few second silence, and then you just hear the sirens start to wail from every single fragging part of New York.
I need to send a quick text.
I told you it was worth getting a good seat.
You told us.
So the text chain from Luna and Sunshine's going, "Stay off the Brooklyn Bridge. Hey, thanks. WTF. All caps. Reply. Told you to stay off the Brooklyn Bridge. Reply. Go to church."
So a text message appears in the group chat. "I just heard a massive explosion. Mav, what the fuck did you do?"
So it's taking a while for any text message. like your text messages to each other are just not getting through. It looks like the NYPD, they've spammed the entire area with matrix jamming whilst the NYPD are swarming over the bridge. So, Toiga, you're basically on your own at this point. You can't contact the others. The three of you, you're all sat together in the dockyard at this cafe, and the waitress who was just walking past you... Actually, wait, what the fuck am I talking about? This is a D-rated area. They're out of waitresses. I was going to say she dropped the tray, but no, there's no fragging waitress. It's go to the counter or bust. The guy at the counter, he's working the soy calf machine, but it's the soy milk on the cappuccino maker. He's just got it on the nozzle and he's just not taking it off, and it's now just frothing out of this down the machine and onto his feet.
Is he just staring open-mouthed out the window?
I mean, do you blame the guy?
No, I don't.
Huggy is going through the videos that she's been filming. She's been filming the Brooklyn Bridge since they sat down with her cyber eyes. And now she's trying to get, like a shot by shot of the explosion as it happens. And is trying to analyze just exactly what that was.
I can tell you what it was. It was a bomb.
Do you have... Kerry is
Ember,
pissing us
stop
off.
laughing. I know this was you.
So, Huggy, give me a perception check. Actually, no, give me an analyze roll, because you're going through the footage.
That's 3 hits on my analyze roll.
So, when you slow the footage down a bit, that explosion looks like it was an underwater explosion.
That's what I was initially thinking, because we saw the cloud of water, the tower of water before the bridge started to collapse.
Yep. So, for the foreseeable future within this campaign, you don't get to use the Brooklyn Bridge, folks.
God damn it, sea cucumbers.
I mean, that's something that we were doing so often, it's really going to ruin my commute.
You guys, where were you heading back to? I don't think you... I think
We
you
hadn't
discussed,
decided.
I think you discussed heading back to somebody's place before the lines went dead.
Toiga was saying that he was going back to his place, and Huggy was asking whether or not Toiga wanted company.
And then everything got out.
Yeah. So, what are you folks doing?
Well, Huggy is at Karl, and is currently near the crime scene, so she is going to try and, in the least conspicuous way possible, remove herself from the area, before NYPD start to just, hit anyone with horns.
Shall we head back to Staten Island? And at some point we'll leave the jamming area and we can message Tiger and see if he wants company.
I'm thinking that maybe that bridge is going to be an absolute fucking nightmare right now. They're going to be searching every single vehicle that crosses every single bridge in New York.
That's true. Maybe we should find somewhere in Brooklyn, Queens, the Hamptons. Let's not go to the Hamptons, it's a silly place.
I mean, I was thinking I'm just going to head over to the chainsaws and say hi. And tell them that I've got some kind
They're
of...
going to want to see that footage. Yeah, sure. Should we go chill at the chainsaws for a bit? Sunshine, you live on this island. Do you want to go home or do you want to come with?
You're pretty close to your home. You're only a couple of districts over.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, should go home and feed the cat.
Do you want dropped off?
I mean, yeah,
Cool.
sure.
We'll drop you off and then we're going to head to the chainsaws, and I am probably going to see how many drugs I can trade for this footage.
It's only a short distance, but it takes you like an hour to get over to Sunshine's place. The whole fucking city is just gridlocked.
What's that? We're crossing the path of one of the other bridges into Manhattan?
Yeah, the NYPD, where you're going, they're not checking you, but that bridge, they are stripping every single vehicle down to the axle and then leaving the owner to put it back together again. Basically, they are not taking any fragging chances. The news feeds are going absolutely ballistic. It's a nightmare. It's complete and utter abject chaos. But you do eventually get over and drop Sunshine off. When you get there, Sunshine, there's a note that says, "Soy tuna in the fridge for the cat. If I don't manage to get you on the comlink, please don't go across the Brooklyn Bridge. Also, I have to talk to Brother Powell about taking the guy to Wisconsin. Gonna be home late."
God, I haven't seen the cities this bad since we exploded the thing at the docks.
What? Why is she going to Wisconsin? There's nothing there. You can buy soy cheese at the fragging Stuffer Shack, Luna.
I'm assuming that going to Wisconsin is some sort of metaphor for killing people.
If it's a metaphor...
I don't think so. I think she's literally taking someone to Wisconsin.
But in that case...
I am having a weird day. Hey, Misty. The cat comes in through the window.
The cat just takes one look at you, and it's full-on puffball, bottle brush tail, and it just disappears under the bed.
Love you too.
Huggy will try and coax it out.
Give me an agility roll, or dodge if you have it. Actually, reaction or dodge if you have it.
Right, rolling reactions, that's 4 hits.
You avoid getting scratched, but that cat ain't coming out. It's properly freaked out by everything that's going on in the city right now.
Me too, cat, me too. Right, is there anything else we can do for you, Sunshine?
Just move it to
Anything else we can do for you, Sunshine?
Anyone know a good relationship counselor? Why is she going to Wisconsin? Why did she blow up a... No, I know why she blew up a bridge. She's a Shadowrunner. Somebody paid her to blow up a bridge. It's a complete non sequitur why this means she now has to go to Wisconsin.
Shadowrun drek.
Wisconsin?
Even by our standards, this is weird. Like, okay, blowing up a bridge, fine, that's a job. Who the frag hires someone for? Step 1, blow up a major landmark. Step 2, Wisconsin.
Step 3, profit.
I
couldn't resist, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
I mean, it's the last place you'll think of anybody ever going. After maybe New Jersey.
Well, that's a pretty good point, actually.
Who the fuck goes to Wisconsin?
Cheeseheads.
At this point, your phones just go absolutely mental as the jamming starts to lift and you just get all of the text messages. A lot of them are from contacts and things like that going, "What the frag happened? Was that you?" and other similar stuff going on. There's a couple of people asking if you're okay, things like that. Yeah, it's a weird day.
Apart from replying to all the "was that yous" and "are you okays," Mav sends one message, which is to Ember, and says, "Nice."
You get back the little angelic emoji.
Yep.
It says, "I don't know what you're talking about."
So yeah, I did warn you that things that were happening in my home game would impact our campaign. So the 4th edition Season 3 missions pack, 3rd mission, go blow up the Brooklyn Bridge. We just played that, so it just happened. You can now communicate with each other again. You're in Sunshine's flat. There's a really weird note from Luna, who is apparently going to Wisconsin for reasons.
Presumably cheese-related reasons. We are going to assume cheese-related reasons for...
Because there's nothing else to go to Wisconsin for.
Also for reasons of plausible deniability.
Toyga, what have you been up to whilst they're attempting to extract Sunshine and Luna's cat from under the bed unsuccessfully?
Toyga's been trying to get home.
Yeah, you're basically stuck on the island right now. It's full lockdown. If you take a look at the exits, they're not letting anybody in or out. The whole of New York has just gone mental.
I suppose flying off the island is out of the question.
Flying, they seem to have grounded a lot of the air traffic. The only thing you can see...
What makes you think the wizard is going to use a plane, Rid?
Put it this way, machine guns exist.
Don't put it past them to try and find out what happens when you shoot a surface-to-air missile at a floating mage.
Toyga's obviously gotten, they've relaxed the complete spam enough that he's on the island and he's still getting text messages. One of the messages that pops up in his book club group chat is, anyone who's stuck on the island and needs a place to crash, come to mine, XOXO, from Ember.
And who is Ember?
Ember is a young lady from Toyga's Shadowrunning book club. First rule of Shadowrun book club is you don't talk about Shadowrunning at book club. Everyone at book club knows that the other people are Shadowrunners, but you do not discuss what goes on. You do not talk about work. You talk about the book we're reading, and you drink until you forget what your own name is.
Yeah.
So Toyga's going to go down to Battery City where her flat is and just sort of, I don't know, knock and politely be let in and then lie down on the floor staring at the ceiling. Very pointedly not... He is very pointedly not angry at the moment. He's the least angry anyone has ever been. Yeah, can you tell how not angry Toyga is at the minute?
So yeah, we'll leave the details of this person a little vague for the time being, because they may come in later on, and it'd be nice to have their player tell us about it. But you're there for... It takes a day or so before things calm the frag down. You folks are currently on the morning of the 29th. Anybody watching the news?
Yes.
Well, yes, of course.
There's been a major incident. Of course, we're seeing what everyone's saying about it.
So yeah, there's a hell of a lot going on, but there is one thing that crops up. Evan Harper, your target, he's got an interview with Shiawase News. He's sat there doing the interview, and he and the presenters are doing the, oh, isn't it terrible? And he's telling them we're going to crack down on these terrorists and these neo-anarchists that attacked our fair city and similar stuff. But you can see the guy he's interviewing, the lady who sat next to him, the co-presenter, she sort of goes glassy-eyed for a few moments, then puts her hand across her colleague who's talking, and they're agreeing with Harper. And she says to him, Mr. Harper, we've just had news from Columbia University that a genetic sample of your blood has been run, and they're claiming that you're an orc. Do you have any comment on these allegations?
Popcorn.
So yeah, the news is going absolutely ballistic today, and there's an election tomorrow.
Okay, so Huggy is going to say, called it. Okay, who puts a 10 on Orc? I think it was... who was taking notes?
I was assuming you were.
I had 8 on Troll, so... this is the way my week is going.
Troll? Really? Troll?
Well, you get some of the Troll meta variants are quite small. I thought it might have been like a Fomorg or something.
I'll be honest, I think I put my money on Elf.
Was it me that said Orc?
It might have been.
I mean...
Mav, I believe your exact words are, I don't condone gambling and I'm not starting now. And then you huffed on your pipe and pulled your flat cap down over your face so you could have a dad nap.
Oh yes, he did say that. You then put 10 on Orc. Oh, you did win this one.
You also each get a text message, seems to be from Dr. Butler, saying, excellent work. Shame it's getting a little overshadowed by the other news, but it should do the job.
I mean, I think that anything is going to be kind of overshadowed in the next half year. No, this is New York. In the next couple of days.
Yeah, the news is going mental. You can eventually get off the island again, Toyga. You have to stand in line for so goddamn long, though. They're doing really thorough SYN checks. They're even taking skin samples through DNA checkers and stuff like that.
You do see one guy after his sin check. The red light comes up and he just gets dragged out of line, slammed to the ground so hard that, yep, that's blood on the subway tiles. And they cuff him and black bag him and drag him away to a security room. So, yeah, his fake sin didn't hold up. And you have a pretty nerve-wracking moment going through, but you do eventually manage to get through the border check and back to Staten Island. What about the rest of you?
Well, after we've dropped off Sunshine, I will have gone over to the Blue Chainsaws, given them the footage that I took. Had a night with those guys, you know. And then when things have calmed down enough that Narrows Bridge opens up again, I'll take the van back across.
Yes, cool. So you basically spend the day night partying with them. They're pretty interested in the footage. Sunshine, are you going with them or are you staying at home?
Sorry, where is the rest of the team going?
The Blue Chainsaws.
Why are we going to the Blue Chainsaws?
To hang out and to show them some footage of a cool explosion. Because they like cool explosions.
And exchange said cool explosion for free drinks and probably a few hits of drugs.
Sure, I guess. It's not like I've got much else to be doing today since my girlfriend decided she really needs to go and buy cheese.
Well, I know that you and your girlfriend aren't exactly on, good grounds right now. No, that's probably... No. Forget I said anything.
That's probably for the best. Sure, why not? Let's go hang out with the weirdos.
Yeah, you have a really good night with them. You will get absolutely munted. You get incredibly drunk. Sunshine, you do get a text, like in the small hours of the morning, saying, "Home now, sorry I missed you." Why is it on brand of Brother Powell to work with a sex pest? Ugh.
Okay, I'm out. See you later.
You just don't get a reply to that one.
Sunshine's entire text history this session is about 12 letters at this point.
Yes!
So yeah, it's the next day. You guys can make your way back to wherever. We're kind of semi-moving into downtimey type stuff at the moment.
Before we reconvene with Toiger and rescue his ex-girlfriend?
Cousin.
Not necessarily...
I mean, come on, this is not Wisconsin.
This is the American...
This is the upper classes.
Yeah, it's the American mega-rich, not the British aristocracy. Let's give credit where credit's due. They have a chin to share between them.
Toiger is descended from British, French, and German aristocracy. His family tree is a family wreath.
How many of your grandparents were Habsburgs?
None of them. I have one more grandparent than Charles Habsburg did, thank you. That's a joke. I have the normal number of grandparents. They were branching out into overseas, so, I actually have a coefficient of inbreeding of 0.
Uh-huh.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Your family have a chin to share between them, unlike the entire British aristocracy. Anyway, moving away from that rabbit hole. Yeah, so are you guys making your way over to Toiger's, or are you heading elsewhere?
Well, I'm going to leave that one to Toiger. Toiger seems to be in a bit of an emotional place right now. So I'm going to leave to Toiger when Toiger wants us to turn up and give him some help.
So Toiger got home eventually. First thing he did, he went to go speak to his landlady, Mrs. K, because she's the closest thing he has to a friend. Oh, closest thing he has to a mother in New York. Bombed out his skull on sake and bliss, told her everything, had a crying fit. He wrecked a wall in one of her rooms, with her permission, in a rage-induced madness. And I went up to his flat and texted the group chat right, calmed down, got it together. Who wants to come round mine and ban a breakout?
I'm in.
Sure.
Julio, see you soon. Also, I still have your money. Please come and take it from me.
As you're making your way up to your floor, the lift's out of order as always. You're met on the stairs by Rick, who just kind of shuffles out of a miscellaneous pile of trash and stands in front of you on the stairs and just kind of looks you up and down and goes, "Heard it's bad."
Oh, it's worse than that. Much, much worse than that.
He reaches into the overcoat and rustles around in a few pockets and then just pulls out half a bottle of Bear Hugger whiskey and just holds it out to you and says, "Helps."
Toiger takes it and swaps it for the half-empty bottle of sake that he had from earlier. Does indeed.
Rick looks at the sake and then just holds it back out at you. And
Yep, it's definitely that
he's
bad.
giving you that slightly red-eyed, drunken stare. But he looks like he's trying to look through you, but he's only a judge intentions.
4 hits.
You get the sense this is Rick's version of trying to be nice and console you, is have booze.
You're a good egg, Rick.
He just kind of shrugs and shuffles off down the stairs. I'll just fast forward us a little bit. So you guys head over. You get only minimally hassled by Rick on the way in. The punk kid with the submachine gun in the hallway just kind of gives you that resentful look of he knows he should shake you down, but he knows how it'll go.
Huggy gives 1 bottle of whiskey to the kid and 1 bottle to Rick.
The ganger with the SMG looks at you in a little bit of surprise, looks at the bottle, and actually gives you the nod.
I give him the toothy grin that only a troll can.
Oh, the friendly grin.
By the way, Toiger, it was soy whiskey, it's not real whiskey. You think Rick can afford 200 new yen a bottle shit?
No, it's sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
It will probably never be touched, but...
Do you just make your way up to Toiger's flat then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look on the bright side, Toiger. If you ever need drain cleaner, you won't have to go out and buy any.
I mean, that stuff's probably not strong enough to clean drains. Drain cleaner costs money.
Also, the brains around here need cleaning with napalm. So, Toiger's sitting in the middle of the floor in his flat, and he's drawn, it's made out of, chalk and charcoal dust and what have you. There's, a very complicated magical symbol on the floor. It's, there's, little designs picked out in little tea-light candles. There's even, bits of thread hanging from the ceiling with stones with holes in them, or metal rings hanging from the ceiling in very specific places. And he's sitting in the middle of it, fingers steepled in front of his nose, staring very pointedly at nothing. And again, the least angry person you have ever seen. Have you ever seen someone who is so not angry?
Toiger, this is weird even for you.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is all perfectly normal. Very, very
You seem
normal.
calm, and that scares me.
Oh, I'm extremely calm.
Yes, and that scares me.
I've gone through angry and out the other end. I don't talk about my family much.
You've said a few things while very drunk, most of them incredibly derogatory.
How much have I said about my dad, Cecil too?
I see.
Boogaloo?
I mean, I was at one point keeping track of the new curses you invented for him, but I stopped because I stopped keeping track. I think around a couple of hundred. I can't remember exactly. You know more swear words and more languages than I expected, and I expected you to know a lot.
That's actually very sweet of you, Huggy, thank you. Cecil, a reasonable number of middle names, de Peralto II, is my biological father. He is senior secretary to the vice chair of the board of Wuxing West.
Okay. Okay.
Helena, reasonable number of middle names, Mountbatten de Peralto, my biological mother, holds a similar position. As much as I hate my parents, I hate my dad's twin more. Dad would occasionally remember I existed long enough to neglect me a bit. Uncle Ivan's a monster. Uncle Ivan has 2 daughters. The younger cousin Hannah is a technological genius. She took to matrix nonsense like I took to magic. And our fathers spent most of their time setting us against each other. What most people don't know is that Hannah has an older sister named Alexandra. Alexandra was never interested in fitting in. She never wanted to excel herself on the corporate field. It didn't matter that both her parents were high-up execs of Wuxing. She just wanted to be happy and to love life. And she would periodically get sent away to live with some distant relative while whatever drama she caused calmed down. And Ivan would abuse her back into line, and she'd behave herself for a week or two, and then she'd get drunk and try and climb the Eiffel Tower in her underwear. He sent her to the Cornville Reform School.
Is this a name any of us have ever heard before?
Does anybody have any high society or sort of socialite or anything like that related knowledge skills?
No.
Haha, no.
Absolutely not.
Okay, in which case, if you want to find information, do a matrix search for me, please.
Is that browse or analyze? That's browse, isn't it?
Bro.
That'll be browse, yeah.
That's 2 hits in a browse roll.
Alright, so what you managed to find on a cursory glance there, Huggy, is that it's some rehab centre for rich corpo brats that fall off the rails and their parents want them put back on the straight and narrow. They take 18 to 25-year-olds from what you can find on the Matrix. It's in fragging Maine. It's a roughly 7 to 12 hour drive to get there, depending on stops, according to Grid Guide. Grid Guide also strongly warns against driving there due to long stretches of unprotected road that are plagued with go-gangers and paracritters that might be in the area.
Where the frag is Maine? Oh, up there, northeast.
I mean, it's a fair question.
This place, if you go out and get a bit drunk and make a scandal of yourself, you'll get sent to live with a relative. If you go out and make a big scandal of yourself, you'll be sent to a reform school. They will sober you up, the fear of God himself will be put in you, and you go back to being a perfect little corporate prince. This place is the threat that gets made, but you never actually think your parents will follow through on it. It's like when they get really angry at you and say they're going to skin you alive or toss you out the window. You know they won't do it, because doing that is unimaginably awful. You would never do anything so cruel to someone you claim to love.
I mean, I came from a fairly good family, really, but I mean, I'm not going to try and understand the dynamics of your childhood, because they seem really, really fucked up.
I was threatened with Cornville, so I hissed on the antique furnishings, set fire to the antique rug, shredded the family photos, and gallivanted off into the night with the ashes of my sin in my pocket. Mum and Dad thought burning my sin and sending me to Cornville might convince me to behave myself. I cannot fathom why he sent Alexandra there. She's never going to be a proper corporate citizen. She's never going to end up on the board of directors. She's never going to end up as an assistant to a member of the board of directors. She's middle management material, if anything. It's a colossal waste of time and effort. I don't know why he's done this! At which point, Toya slaps the ground and, every light in the place goes out. But I'm not angry about it. Because we're going to go there. We're going to free her. And I'm going to make it abundantly clear that if anyone comes after her, the damned souls in hell will hear Ivan scream and count their blessings.
That's fucking metal.
I have a little nest egg set aside. I have my payment from this last run, and I have the 2k that septic cow decided to give me.
Are you hiring us?
You're the people I most trust in this city. You're my friends. I can't pay you what this job requires, but I can give you something.
Tiger, I don't want you to take this as a sign of how I normally do things, but I'm not taking money from you. I'll do this job, but I'm not getting paid for it.
Thank you. Like, Toyga's visibly, like, he's not angry and he's not welling up.
Uh-huh. I'll do this for cost. Don't pay me.
Damn it, you two.
I mean, you can
Fine,
ask
I
for
guess
money
I'm
if
not-
you want, Sunshine.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge you if you do.
We're Shadowrunners, we get paid for things.
Yeah, I'm not quite enough of a queen bitch to do that. Okay, fine, let's go bust a rich girl out of prison.
In Maine.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, how are we getting there?
I like Maine, it's nice. We had a chateau in Maine.
You had a what?
That's where my parents were when I ruined the house.
What's a chateau?
Fancy house.
Our chateau had battlements.
Fancy house.
I mean, the places, there's a fair few places nearby I was born that had battlements. There's a bunch of old ruins and stuff up on the hills.
That's because you're from Europe.
Yeah, I'm from one of the areas that's been being constantly fought over by just about everyone for the last, since the Romans at least. People built a lot of things there with stones.
So Toyga sort of like gets out his comlink and Google. He's web searched Chateau Peralto, Maine, and he just holds up a picture of like, it's not a house, it's a castle.
Oh, frag me.
Is that where we're going? Is that the school?
No, that's the chateau I was talking about. It's where we spent the winters. It's
I thought you said it was a castle.
That is a castle.
That's not a castle. Like, seriously? See those battlements? They are not going to stop incoming siege weaponry. And they have windows on the ground level. Do you realize how indefensible that is?
I mean, I think Huggy's got a point.
Like, this is going to last all of 2 minutes in a siege. This is not a castle.
Huggy's got a point. I've seen schools, former schools in the Aurora Warrens that were better fortified than this.
You said Warrens there, though. This is somewhere nice.
Yeah, the Warrens. Why do you think I know the word battlements, but not the word chateau?
chateau.
That's what I said.
No, like chateau, like the French word for cat, and you have been surprised to see it. Chat. Oh,
That's
the French word for cat. That's
rude. You shouldn't be saying that, Tiger. Wash your mouth out with soap.
So, there's this school.
We need everything you know about this, quotes, school. We need to go there, so plane flights, we need somewhere to stay. We need several very expensive and illegal items smuggled to Maine, or equivalents reacquired.
Wait, we get to fly? I've never been on a plane before.
Today's your lucky day, because we sure as hell ain't driving there.
Wait, we're flying today? Don't you have to, like...
Okay, the future is your lucky day. Shut up.
No.
There's another way of getting there.
What, drive?
Well, I mean, we could drive. We have a van with a machine gun on the top of it.
All the way through CTMA, I don't know the letter code for New Hampshire, into Maine. What's your idea, Huggy? You have a better idea, clearly.
If it takes a boat.
Boat? I mean...
that's an excellent idea.
We can take the van on the boat. It's going to be a lot less. There's going to be a lot less security. I'm probably not going to have to buy a new SIN to try and get myself through an airport. Things are going to be letting people through airports easily at the moment.
That's true.
But if we get cheap berths on a random tanker going up north, nobody's going to give a shit.
Are there boats that go from New York to Maine and carry vehicles?
I mean, there's boats that take cargo, so there's going to be boats that take vehicles. Because who the fuck wants to drive from New York to Maine?
Yeah, people normally get the plane and hire a car when they get there. But most people don't travel drones and machine guns.
And how do you think they get trucks from New York to Maine?
I thought that's what the cargo port was for.
They put the trucks on the boats.
Yeah, fair. Okay, boat.
That's my vote. My vote is for going by
You vote for the boat.
While they're having this discussion, Toiga, you got asked, basically told by Huggy that she would need everything that you know about this place. Do you have a high society knowledge skill or something similar?
Yes, I do. Give me a moment.
Could you roll that for me? Because I feel like that's kind of appropriate here.
2 hits.
I've sent you some stuff via DM. 2 bits of information for your 2 hits.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know a lot about this place. It's extremely hush-hush. They don't advertise. They don't take bookings. Essentially what will happen is you will have a little corporate prince who isn't playing ball. You send them to a therapist whose job it is to psychologically abuse them into compliance. If they're not up to the task, they'll recommend a few places, and when those few places fail, they'll send you to Cornville. The only time you ever hear about them is when there's a scandal. It's meant to be a sort of relaxation, get over your problems, learn to stop fighting and love the bomb. You hear stories, you hear about people coming out with smiles painted on their souls. The orderlies have heavy hands, and they won't communicate with what they can drug into compliance.
Okay, one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Oh, no. This makes One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest look like a fucking spa retreat.
What are you two talking about?
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
I was going to say, didn't you read that in school, but I caught up.
You think I finished school?
It's a book about asylum.
I was mostly reading really, really bad works of poetry and all that.
Oh, come on, you would have been reading Faust. Huggy would have totally read Faust.
Huggy read Faust, absolutely.
I remember very vividly a story. They hired a doctor, an Austrian doctor.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
Yeah, fucking Austrians, man.
He was very keen and very eager to prescribe certain antipsychotics with an amnesiac effect. The place got found out, and the Austrian doctor, it turned out, was not a doctor, was not Austrian, and was wanted for some of the vilest crimes of which metahumans are capable. This is how these places work. They isolate you, frighten you, they strip away your individuality, they make you into a good little corporate drone, and they send out the hollowed out shell of whoever you were back into the world. And when they get found out for their horrors, they make a great show. Oh, it was this one doctor, it was this one orderly who's been fired. And the place will change hands into a different shell company, and nothing will actually change, and it'll just keep on ticking over.
So what I'm hearing is it's time for the 3rd major terrorist incident in... How long has it been? 3 days?
Thank you for spending some time with us and listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. In the meantime, well, that's certainly a lot of stuff happened there. Something light. I know. What was the biggest bonus that you ever got for showing up to a meet? Let us know on our Discord. Intro is More Human Than Human by Carl Casey, and the background music is also by Carl Casey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck Hash, and all sound effects are credited in the show notes. The Tops Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. The Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license, so if you want to use any part of the show, please give us the credit. See you next time, chummers.